All right, guys. So I went to post the last video that I just posted a little bit ago. I was publishing it, getting it live, all that stuff, making sure that it was, all the way processed. And basically, immediately after it goes live, we get some tweets from various sources with some further Seahawks news. So chalk that up to just a little bit of bad timing. Would have liked to have rolled that all into one video, but hey, that's how the news works sometimes. The news comes out quickly, it comes out unexpectedly, and you just roll with it. So we do have a little more news from training camp today, and this is kind of more in the realm of the bad news. It concerns running backs, multiple running backs. They are injured, and they are missing training camp. And in the case of one guy in particular, who is a rookie, this time is kind of valuable to him. So, we got this tweet from Greg Bell laying it out. It's been confirmed by many other sources. Pete Carroll says lead running back Kenneth Walker has a groin injury and may remain out a while. So the Seahawks can be sure to quiet that down. So Carroll saying that he may remain out a while is kind of concerning. And also kind of concerning is K9 was going through battling some injury stuff last year. Now, I don't know if this is related or not. If I had to guess, it's probably not. I think last year he had like some kind of a heel injury or maybe it was a calf. I don't think he had a groin injury last year, but he had more than one injury. And he was playing through some of it too. Like there was an injury that made him miss a couple of games, I believe, and then he came back, but he wasn't 100%, but he was still out there grinding and playing well. So I don't know if this injury has any relation to the injuries he had last year. Hopefully not, because if an injury lingers through the entire offseason, that's really concerning. But the fact that Carroll says he may be out a while, I mean, a while could mean a lot of different things. Is this actually going to affect the regular season? Because Walker is a second-year player. He was part of the process last season, although he did actually get hurt last year in the preseason portion of camp. So I don't know how important these training camp reps are to him. I don't know how important the preseason would be to him. So I don't know exactly how big a deal it is for him to be missing reps right now. But obviously, the real concern is what are we looking at when the season starts? And if he is playing, is he going to be less than 100%? A groin injury, that's something that can linger on for a long time. So, not good, not good news. Definitely something to monitor, definitely something to be concerned about. Hopefully, we get some clarity on what a while means, although it's possible that there's just no way to tell right now. So, rookie Zach Charbonnet also has an injury that is going to keep him out. He has a shoulder injury getting checked by doctors today, out indefinitely. This one, we may, if I had to guess, we're going to get a better timetable on in the near future here. We're going to have a better understanding of how serious this is because it's a shoulder injury. I think you have a better chance of being able to understand exactly how big a deal this could be and how long he'll stay out. But either way, this is a setback for Charbonnet because he is a rookie. He's not been part of an NFL training camp before. These reps are important to him. So Zach Charbonnet being out with this shoulder injury, that is something that, like we kind of went through this last year where a K9 missed some offseason stuff. And he missed, I think it was the first game of the season because he was hurt. And when he came in, those first couple games after he missed that first game, so the Niners game and the Falcons game, he did not look like he knew what he was doing. He barely played, and I think there were two plays in the first two games he played where he went the wrong way on a handoff. Just went left and Gino stuck the ball out right, or maybe it was the other way around, but he did not look comfortable, and it wasn't until really that Saints game when K9 got to a point where he was looking comfortable out there. And that may end up being the case for Charbonnet. Hopefully, that's not that big of a deal because K9 will be taking a pretty large majority of the carries anyway. But this is not a great sign for Charbonnet's development, so definitely concerning. Definitely hoping that he's going to get a positive review from the doctors. I mean, we're still a couple weeks away from training. I'm sorry, preseason even. So it's very possible that the shoulder injury in particular could end up being completely irrelevant by the time we get to the preseason, and certainly by the time we get to the regular season. But this groin injury with Walker, that feels a little bit different to me. And Walker was a guy who was pretty injury free in college, so I'm really hoping this doesn't end up becoming a trend. Which, I mean, hey, that's what happened with Rashad Penny, right? Rashad Penny had an incredibly clean injury record in college and I believe high school, and then he got to the pros and suddenly he's made of glass. So it can happen. But all we can do now is wait and hope we get good word, and if we don't get good word, then hopefully we see good things on the field and they actually come back in a relatively quick fashion. But, yep, Walker and Charbonnet going to be out for at least a little bit here in training camp, which means we are down to DJ Dallas, who is, he's a guy, but he's a guy who has done some positive things in the past. And then, of course, you've got the enigma, maybe the most interesting guy in the running back room right now, McIntosh. Yeah, so we'll probably talk more about McIntosh in the near future here, but this is definitely one way that Mr. McIntosh might end up making a significant offensive contribution to the Seahawks this year. If guys go down in front of him, the question is, here's the thing, we would have to structure a new kind of offense around a guy like McIntosh if you're going to use him a lot because of the way he plays. You don't want to be sending him up the A-gap every play. You want to be using him creatively. You want him to use his elusiveness. You want him to use his ball-catching ability. You want him lining up at receiver sometimes. You want to utilize him in a very specific way that is not really the same way you utilize Charbonnet or Walker or Dallas. So right now, there's no reason to believe that this is anything serious. There's reason to suspect it, but there's no reason to believe this is super serious. But if it is, and one or even both of these guys ends up missing significant time once the season gets started, one way or the other, you've got McIntosh there, who I think can do it. I like him. I like him a lot, and I think he can do it. But can you structure the offense in the right way for him to thrive? That's going to be kind of the question here. And that's going to be one of the things that I think we're going to have to talk about in the next couple days here, because we already knew it was a possibility, right? Because running backs get hurt in the NFL. That's just the way that it is. That's just the way it goes. But now that we know these guys are at least temporarily hurt for part of training camp, it's a worthy conversation to have, because I don't think we're getting to where we want to go if DJ Dallas is the only real running back that we have. So Kenny McIntosh, he's getting opportunities to do things in training camp now, and apparently he looks quite good. So we like that. We definitely like that. But can we structure the offense in the right way to take advantage of what he can do? That's the interesting conversation. So that's the news around Walker and Charbonnet. It's bad news, but hey, we've got some guys now who have a chance. We got some guys now who have a chance to step up. And by the way, DJ Dallas is never going to be a stud in this league, but he is in a contract year. He's got stuff to prove. So don't completely dismiss that either. Putting that out there. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. Let me know what you think down below. Unfortunate news today, but things roll on.